I got this transmission in here in the transfer case. It fits pretty good, probably better than the SM420 I had. I had to cut out just a little bit of the body of that brace right there, and it wasn't too bad. Other than that, I will have to beat on the body right there just a little bit, just to give the drive shaft just a little bit more clearance, because this is a little bit longer than the other transmission. But you can see that fits in here pretty good. I had all this cut out because the SM420, I probably didn't need to cut this much out. For this transmission actually fits better than the other one, but anyways, I'll weld that back in and make a patch panel for it. But working on the cross member, this is what I got. Pretty much just two pieces of angle iron. They're gonna bolt in to where the factory skid plate bolted in. There's 3 1/2-inch bolts on each side, and then just a piece of channel in the middle. And I had to put a little spacer there. Show you what I did. On the transmission mount, I got some polyurethane ones. They're like a low profile. They're pretty dang short. And I ended up just making a plate for the bottom of the transmission, and then I bolted 2 of them side by side there. And those are just the old standard 350 Chevy mounts or whatever, you know. And I put 2 side by side to kind of stiffen it up a little bit. So anyways, that skid plate or cross member is going to be sort of a skeleton, so I can make a skid plate under here. Pretty much what I'm going to do is just put some tabs, you know, off of this stuff, and make a plate go across the bottom of it. It's still kind of hot, but I recessed this down 1/4 inch, so it'll give me room to put just a 1/4 inch plate all the way across here. And so hopefully that works out all right. That way I can you know, take panels off, take skid plate panels off, and work on it if I have to, and not have to drop the whole dang thing out of there, and make it easy to work on, hopefully. That's my cross member. It's kind of hard to get under here and see, but pretty much what it is. Like I said, I'm gonna put some plate under here. I will have to make a little bump for the, you know, the transmission's hanging down just a little bit, and then the transfer case just barely hangs out. I'll make a little bubble under there for that. But I'm getting ready to start on the rear end. I'm gonna link it back here. It's kind of hard to see. I think what I'm going to do is take out that cross member up there on the frame, and I kind of just have the truss sitting here and those tabs sitting on top. I've got about 4.5 inches before those tabs hit the body if I get rid of that cross member. So that's what I'm going to do. And I think I got just enough room to fit some stock TJ coils in between the frame and the axle. And so that's what I'm going to do. I got to get this rear end out of here and strip all the crap off of it, and get that cross member cut out, and take off these leaf spring perches and stuff on both sides, and get rid of some of that fuel stuff. I got to move all that shit. So I'm going to get started on that. I got this rear end out and ground all the crap off of it. Fixing to put the truss on there, and I got the pinion angle set kind of where I want it. Kicked up just a little bit. I have a CV dry shaft in the rear, so I pretty much just pointed this right at the transfer case. And I'm going to weld the truss on there level and put the tabs on there and stuff. Got the truss on, trying to gather my thoughts and figure out where everything else is going to go. I got this cross member cut out. The body mount was right there, so I left just a little bit of that and cut the rest of it out. I got the spring purchase cut off and that thing that held all the fuel stuff. I just got to come in here with the flap disc and grind all that. Grind it all down, take the sharp edges off and stuff. That's what the rear end's looking like. Got pretty much the tabs where kind of where I want them. I'm gonna get the rear end put in there and check the lowers just to make sure I did those right. But I got the uppers welded on. They're pretty much where they're gonna be. I don't have any coil buckets made yet, but I'll make those for the frame and for the rear end housing once I get the thing back in the Jeep and kind of see exactly where they're going to sit. I don't have much room for shocks, so I'm thinking about maybe putting the shocks on the lower control arms maybe, and if it works out I might be able to use the original shock mount right there maybe. I don't know, that's what I'm thinking. Making these upper links, what I did was use the 1.5 DOM 120 wall, and these are 7/8 to 3/4 Heims. They have 7/8 shafts and then I think a 3/4 inch hole. Leaves a little bit more meat around here, but I was going to weld one of these on the other end. I was kind of worried about the 120 wall tubing. I'm not sure if that's sufficient or enough, but I may put a piece of 1.5 slide right over it, slide right over that tubing and make it a 1/4, you know. But in hindsight I wish there were 3/16 maybe for the uppers, but yeah, this will work. We get it done. I probably will regret using these Heims later, you know. They're probably going to rattle like crazy and squeak and everything, but we'll see how it works. These were the only Heim joints I used on the Jeep. The lowers, I'm using those these Euro joints or whatever. I think they have a polyurethane insert or something in there that keeps them from rattling too bad, but we'll see how it goes. These were cheaper. I actually had one of these laying around the shop for something else that never got built, so I only had to buy one of those, you know. And then of course those are pretty dang cheap. Those are like $10 for those bushing kits, so we'll see how it works. Alright, this is what I've got so far. I just put the upper brackets kind of as high as I could on the body, and anyways, let's just have them tacked on. I'm gonna have to probably notch the body just a little bit right there so those can go all the way up, you know. But I'll do that. I either just beat on it with a hammer or I might notch it inside. So now I just got to make some lowers. They're gonna be probably about right here. It'll be sort of triangulated, not a whole lot, but you know, probably about over here. I think I'll end the video here. It's getting kind of long, so I'll probably keep recording my progress if you guys want to keep checking back with me, and appreciate you guys watching. Thanks.